Morning world, it's 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday the 15th of May 2018. I'd like to start with a mea culpa. I'm nowhere near as educated or knowledgeable as I like to hope I would be around certain elements of world politics and world religions. In that light, I'd like to say a big thank you to Roberto for helping me understand the intricate differences between Hebraism, Judaism, Zionism, and I'd particularly like to thank Judith of Seven for helping me with the astrology of Palestine. I got it wrong yesterday. Palestine was not declared as a nation state in the 14th of May 1948 at midnight. Instead, it was actually declared by Yasser Arafat in Algiers sometime in 1988. And when that happened, the sun in the sky was at 23 degrees Scorpio, opposite Israel's sun at 23 Taurus. And the moon in the sky was at 3 degrees Aquarius, opposite Israel's moon at 4 degrees of Leo. So the horoscopes of Israel and Palestine are intimately and intricately linked in a way that belies coincidence. Nevertheless, I still stand by much of what I said yesterday, and the events of yesterday, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it, but I can't not. Murder is murder, regardless of what religion. And murder in God's name, regardless of what God it is, decries an evil God. No God advocates murder. And I don't care what the religious justification is for murder. Murder is murder. It's a crime against humanity, and any God that advocates it should be put on trial. I think that all religion, by its very nature, is evil. It's all about, all religions, almost all religions, and I think all of them, are all about men, old men in skirts, who have got very little penises, who are scared of women, so they seek to suppress and repress and force people into belief systems. It's wrong. It's amoral. And it's about time we had a world without imposed doctrine. I'm fine about people believing what they want, but no one else should tell anyone else what to believe. As an astrologer, I know, I don't believe, I know where the original God and the original goddess are. They're in the sky. The sun is the god, the moon is the goddess. Also, regardless of political persuasion, regardless of religious connotation, regardless of any particular nation, anyone who imposed a new opening of a new building yesterday, anyone who started something brand new yesterday which led to violence, is inviting massive trouble. Yesterday with Mars, and today, Mars is now in the last third of the last degree of Capricorn. Uranus is now 1 minute of 1 degree away from moving into Taurus. It will happen later today. You simply do not, with everything at 29 degrees, you do not open a new building. You do not start a new chapter in politics. You just don't. It's going to end in tears. And as someone else on the blog pointed out yesterday, on the 27th, I think, of July this year, there is a total eclipse of the moon, conjunct retrograde Mars, at 3 and 4 degrees of Aquarius, opposite Israel's sun, conjunct Palestine's sun. And I can't help but feel that the events of yesterday, it's not going to be a one-off situation. There's going to be repercussions. And I'm not advocating this, and indeed I hope there's not, because I don't want to see a world like this. This is a horrible situation to be in. Again, I put it firmly at the foot of all religions. Misogynistic, power-broken, insecure old men. The astrology of this time suggests that there will be repercussions. Yesterday was just the opening salvo. We won't see the end of this until Uranus moves away from 0 degrees Taurus for the final time, which won't be till March, April of next year. And the worst is yet to come. At the start of this year, I did a video where I talked about how the middle of May and the time of July and the eclipses of July, particularly towards the end of July, were going to be the trigger points for this year. I also suggested that by the time we're into August, we're 65-70% of the way through the troubles of this year, and I stick to that. Meantime, in this country, we've got a royal wedding which is already mired in controversy. I kind of knew something like this was going to happen. The world's a mess at the moment. Now Uranus is moving into Taurus today. Someone put up a lovely post on the blog yesterday around how Uranus in Taurus could mean the end of GMOs and the start of just planting our own food and going back to basics. And I just thought, how lovely. The idea of everyone growing their own food again. Solve a lot of the problems around plastic in the world. So perhaps, rather than just constantly ranting at the injustices of the world and just complaining about different people trying to have dominance and control over others, perhaps it's best, with Uranus moving into Taurus in a few hours' time, for us to focus on some of the positives that can come out of this. A redistribution of wealth, the growing of our own food, a new approach to the way we manage our lifestyle management, health, hygiene, diet, and particularly nutrition and digestion. This is going to see a revolution in food this next 7 years, and it'll either be the GMO corporates taking over everything, or hopefully we'll see everyone beginning to think, you know what, I'm going to plant some potatoes and carrots in my back garden. I'm going to plant some peach trees and apricots and strawberries and see what happens. Let's hope so. I've always thought that Uranus in Taurus was going to be difficult, but after the last couple of days, I'm actually looking forward to Uranus in Taurus because a change is as good as a rest. And I'll be really glad by the time next weekend is over. Catch you tomorrow, world. Bye.